Hey everyone, welcome to the bonus episode of Stress Test. I'm Shane Schlesman. My other host isn't with me today, but I wanted to drop by and share a thought with you about expectation. Everybody has it, and I don't care what business you're in or what ministry you're in. As a leader, you have expectations put on you, you have expectations on other people. But what do you do with the great expectations that are put on you in life? I think there's two extremes in dealing with expectation. One extreme is, I don't care. I know we love to talk like that we don't care, but we really do care. But we say, I don't care. I just do what I need to do, and I don't worry about what anyone else thinks. And you go on, keep posting about that, keep boasting how you don't care. But we all know that even saying you don't care is probably a sign that you might care, or at least that's the persona, or maybe you're trying to talk yourself into it. The other extreme is, hey, I care about everything. I care about what everyone thinks, and that's the truth of it. There's probably a truth in both sides of those extremes. So how do we manage the expectation the right way? Here's what we quoted Brene Brown in our book, Death by Pastoring. She says, disappointment is unmet expectations. The more significant the expectations, the more significant the disappointment. So I'm looking forward to diving into those things today. Before I do, I want to tell you, hey, we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of Death by Pastoring, and we are going to, next month, launch a way for you to be able to get a free copy of Death by Pastoring every time any of those who watch the podcast Stress Test. We would love to get you a free copy. So we're going to tell you how to do that next month. And also, we got some great guests coming up. We just launched Dr. Nancy. I'm really excited about this, introducing you to Greg Elon. My good friend Chuck Balsamo is going to be on. So anyway, got some great guests coming up. Really looking forward to you meeting them. Subscribe to Stress Test, the heartbeat of a healthy leader, or on our socials, and make sure you don't miss an episode. Hey, and I don't expect you to. Watch. Just kidding. I really wrestle with expectations. I think I've been on both extremes. I've been on the extreme of I don't care what anybody thinks, and I've been on the extreme of I care what everybody thinks. Here's what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Come to me, all ye who are all ye. I'm not reading from the King James, but that's where I memorized it. P.S. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. For you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So that sounds amazing. And I want to live only yoked to Jesus and only have his burden and only have his expectation on me. But honestly, the world's expectation has impacted us in every area, even the way I think about God's expectations of me or my expectations of God. Because if you expect God to come through for you and he doesn't, that is painful. If you are constantly thinking that you're not coming through for God, that is painful. Either one takes us out of the game. Either one takes us and stops us from building the kingdom, which is exactly what the enemy wants in your life. And so no matter what business you're in, I know expectation. I know when I was in sales, you're only as good as your last month. After that month was done, okay. Or in some sales industries, you're only good as your last year. So what are you going to do for me now? What have you done for me lately? And we always, and goals never go backwards. Nobody ever sets goals that go, oh, we need to go backwards. Everybody sets goals to go forward. Everybody goes goals to get bigger. Everybody sets goals to make more. Everybody sets goals to do more. So expectations keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we find through technology, we have the ability to do 20 things at one time. We have the ability to do things faster than we've ever done them before. So how do you manage all of this? And I thought, when I came into ministry, I thought, wow, you know what? Finally, the only expectation on me now is just to walk with people and help them in their lives and walk with them the way Jesus walked with them. And it's like, nope. We want to do more. We want to get bigger. We want to make more. We want to do more things with more people. How can that be wrong? Because the Great Commission reaches many people. Go to the ends of the earth. Never stop, make more, do more. And we capitalize with capitalism in the calling of Christ. And Jesus just said, come to me. Come to me. And I think some of these unrealistic expectations get set from my perspective of who's calling the shots in my life. And if I am, I'm aggressive. I'm competitive. I want to do better. I don't want to go backwards. Nobody wants a down year. But how do I meet the expectation of myself? How do I meet the expectation of God and my perspective of that? How do I meet the expectation of others, or at least my perception of that? And I think the answer is actually what Jesus told his disciples: when you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So I think about expectations, and I don't want to get into some counseling sessions here, but maybe you know what it is to disappoint your dad. Maybe you know what it is to never have a dad who never was happy. Maybe you don't even know what it is to have a dad. So when Jesus says, when you've seen me, you've seen the Father, he sets an expectation of joining him in a spiritual family, in a family that doesn't have expectations like your family had, in a family that doesn't have expectations like the world has, at a pace that only God can show us. In fact, here's how Jesus handled expectations. When people came to him and said, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? He said, I can only do what I see my, Father doing. I can only do what I see my Father doing. My Father and I are one. That's exactly what Jesus is asking you to do in Matthew 11. Come to me, all you who are weary, as in everybody, and have heavy burdens, as in everybody, and I will give you rest. He's saying, stop doing all the things without me. Stop doing those things. If you see me doing it, do it. Be yoked to me. That's a work tool, right? We talked about this a lot in our book. You can be yoked to Jesus in your place of business. In fact, that's exactly where he wants you, because he wants to be a part of and wants you to be a part of what he's doing in your company, what he's doing in your church, what he's doing in your ministry. But I wonder if we could set down the yoke that we've attached to up and to the right and be able to step into the yoke that is shaped for you and Jesus alone in this partnership, together in family, and all of the rest of your spiritual family that are partnered with Jesus as well, and all of you being yoked to Jesus, coming to him with your burdens, coming to him with your expectations, and saying what Jesus said. I can only do what I see my Father doing. There's a great video on YouTube I saw, has N.T. Wright and has Eugene Peterson, and it has a young a priest who learns the pace of Jesus by going and traveling to Ireland, and he is able way out in the countryside, and he learns to catch up or slow down to the pace of Jesus. It's called Godspeed. Check it out on YouTube. And I think that's a beautiful picture of what it looks like. Because Jesus was never in a hurry. Jesus was never in a rush. Jesus was never feeling like, oh, I have to get somewhere. I mean, the woman with the issue of blood gets healed in a crowd on his way that he's late, ends up being late, and a young girl dies because of it. Jesus doesn't get up and leave and go to his cousin who's in prison. Jesus doesn't get up and urgent. And we get the call as a pastor like, now there's an expectation of someone in the hospital. Now there's an expectation of somebody sick. Now there's an expectation that their pastor be there for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong with that is to be driven by the expectations of others. Come to me. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. I'm not a taskmaster. I'm not a give you a list guy. I used to hate it when I was growing up. My dad would leave a list every Saturday morning in my Saturday morning chores. And in fact, this infamous list got framed in my household. The regular chores were framed in the kitchen. Literally, he framed them. And he thought it was funny because he knew it drove us crazy. But he framed, I'll give you a little bit of a picture of what I was dealing with. But he framed them. And so I hated lists. To this day, if somebody gives me a to-do list, I'm like, get away from me. List. So Jesus isn't giving you a list of things. He's actually asking you to yoke your life to him. Come and get rest, because I'm not a taskmaster, he says. I'm gentle and humble at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. You will find rest for your souls. I did a little video the other day about what to do about Monday. Monday's tricky. You come off this huge weekend, big high, and then you crash low. So set some expectations with Jesus about what's most important to happen on Monday. Like the most important thing to happen on Monday is you're not yoked to any other expectation than God's with you. And his yoke is easy. His burden is light. It's how he closes it. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Jesus wants to welcome you as a father welcomes his son. And maybe that's not a good picture for you because of the expectations in your life. But Jesus is wanting to redeem that picture for you. And be a father who says, hey, here's my expectation. I'm yoked to my father, and I can only do what I see my father doing. So Father, what are you doing today? Where can I join you today? Because I know it's not, oh man, Mondays is like, I got the Monday blues. No. It's not like that with Jesus. Maybe I've got a Monday clue, so to speak. I got a clue as to what are you doing, God. I've got the ability to be able to see God at work and join him there and make it go on mission Monday instead of, mundane and all the things. God has never wanted for any of us to live under the expectations of this world, the expectations of our family, the expectations of our friends, the expectations of social media, the expectations of keeping up, the expectation of this business that wants you to do more and more and more and more, and your goals go up and up and up and up. I know, I'm giving you a headache. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Don't get wrapped up on the hamster wheel of expectations and constant disappointment in yourself, in others. Don't put others on it. if you have some expectation of people who are on your team right now, you need to release that and just say, God, I want and I want them to see where you're working and join you there. Call them to that or discuss it with them, but take away the expectation and leave the expectation that's on you behind. Because his yoke is easy and his burden is light. I hope that's helpful for you today. Hey, subscribe to Stress Test, the heartbeat of a healthy leader. We'd love to take you on this journey as we learn from other leaders and what it looks like to lead without the stress of this world system's expectation. So I hope you join us on the journey. As always, thanks for joining us on Stress Test.